Yeah. Woo! We're in the building. We're back at it. And we made it in the morning too. Y'all know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. We are back in the building on this Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Now, hopefully y'all are doing well. I must welcome you back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the ClassE Morning Show. I'm your host, ClassE at patreon.com/ClassE Beats, by the way. The link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment in the chat. This is going to be a quick show, but we got a lot of information to get to you and a lot of news and updates as well. As always, it's going to be interesting to see because we're going to be talking about Jay-Z, what's going on with his paternity test. Y'all haven't been up to date on that. We're going to give you the full background and let you know what's going on there. We're going to talk about Karen Reed, the gift that keeps on giving. I don't know which is better. Is it Karen Reed? I mean, is it the Alicia Andrews Julio Fulio trial? Karen Reed is back in the news because another police officer that was involved in her investigation, we got to put air quotes around it now, it's been let go. So we're going to talk about that in a second. There's Taco Tuesday. We're also going to get into what Candace Owens has to say and has recently revealed about the Charlie Kirk situation with his assassination and who's responsible. We'll get into all that in a second. But before I do, I have to say what's up to the people, man. Shout out to the gang up in here. So good to see y'all. We've got my awesome, amazing Mamie in here, of course, showing up, showing out, showing love, and doing what she does best, and that's be amazing. Les Cleaver's in here. We've got Fab Mom in here. A-Fitz back at it. Shout out to A-Fitz. We got Virginia Wiley in here. Paua Eyes is in the building. Taco Tuesday is up in here as well. So good to see everybody in the building. If you haven't yet, please make sure you like the video as you join the show. Likes are free, guys. It takes less than a second to do. It helps the algorithm know that you guys are enjoying the show here, and it shares the video, the live stream, and the entire channel with more people. So if you could, please take a second and do that free thing and like the video. It's free, okay? I'm gonna say that 500,011 times as we go throughout the show, just because it doesn't cost you anything. And I know y'all are gonna have a good time here as well. If you're feeling extra generous, you can share the video. All you have to do is click the share button. That's got an arrow that's curved pointing to the right. That allows you to share the video out to X, to Instagram, to Facebook, and you can even share it via text. So thank you to those of you who do that consistently. And I will also be giving a special shout out to everyone who sends in super chats. I know y'all see Les Cleaver over there already dropped one. He's got a membership. He has been a member for 13 months. Amazing, man. Shout out to Les Cleaver, always showing major support. One of the hardest working guys I know. He says, happy Taco Tuesday. And God bless each of you. You are in the best family on YouTube. That's a fact. And I pray each of you spread the word. Thank you, ClassE and Amy, for all you do. Amen. Amen. And thank you for all you do, Les Cleaver. You consistently show up every single live stream you're in here. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you've got going on with work, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to this channel. Thank you for being such a consistent supporter, man. And I'm happy to have you over here as well. Yeah, y'all like the video, all right? And likes are free. I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to get right into it because I know y'all want to and have to hear about this. This news is absolutely insane. Just broke within the last 24 hours and it's about to get wild. So we've got to talk about Karen Reed again. Now, this isn't specifically something to do with Karen Reed, but it does have to do with the Karen Reed case because we have another officer down, and not in the way that it's usually used. Another officer is losing their job seemingly as a result of the Karen Reed trial. We've got an officer here we're going to get into and talk about Sergeant Good and what he had going on and why he has now been placed on leave. We're going to get into it. We're going to hear from NBC News 10 in Boston, and then I'll give you guys a little bit of a background into why this possibly happened and how it's connected to Karen Reed and the Michael Proctor text. Check this out.
Tonight, there's new controversy involving the Canton Police Department.
A police officer who testified in the Karen Reed case is now on paid administrative leave due to allegations of misconduct. Now, in a statement, the town says Sergeant Sean Good was put on leave after the allegations were discovered during an investigation into a former member of a different law enforcement agency. The independent investigator is now looking into those allegations. Good testified during Reed's first murder trial last year, but did not testify at her retrial earlier this year.
I hate to interrupt the video, but y'all know, you know what this means. Michael Proctor is taking another good man down. Well, allegedly, another man down with him. Because if it's misconduct and if it's tied to someone else who was involved in the Karen Reed case, it could only be one thing. It could only be one person, and that is Michael Proctor. If it is Michael Proctor, Sean Good is just the first of many that are going to fall as a result of these text messages being brought out. Yuri, I don't know what's going to happen to Yuri Buchanan. This is getting wild. Let's keep going.
And goes on to say, quote, the town is committed to providing the quality and level of service that the citizens of Canton deserve from their police department. To that end, we will take the necessary steps to ensure that actions by individual officers do not jeopardize that quality and level of service.
Well,
let's bring in NBC 10 courtroom insider Sue O'Connor, who attended both of Reed's trials and was there when Sergeant Good testified in the first one. All right, Sue, so if we think about the action involving Good, help us figure out if there are any dots to connect to either the Karen Reed case or to Michael Proctor, who was the lead investigator in that case and had these reams of text messages we just learned about that go back to 2013.
Yeah, we don't know, Glenn and JC, but here's what we do know. Both Sean Good and Michael Proctor live in Canton. Good went to high school with Courtney Proctor, Michael Proctor's sister. And the Canton police audit found significant policy failures in the John O'Keefe investigation. Improper crime scene photography, no recorded witness interviews, officers using those red Solo cups and personal phones to collect evidence. But auditors found no evidence of tampering and no evidence of a conspiracy to frame anyone.
So let's get a little bit deeper into Sergeant Good's involvement in the Reed case. For folks who followed Reed's trials, his name is familiar. So what role did he play in the investigation into John O'Keefe's death?
Look, Good was very involved in the investigation. He was all over it. He was the overnight dispatcher at the Canton police when John O'Keefe died. He took both 911 calls, the first one from Kerry Roberts before 5 a.m., then Jennifer McCabe around 6 a.m., reporting that O'Keefe was unresponsive. Good then rushed to the scene. He spoke to the homeowners, Brian and Nicole Albert, and he brought his personal leaf blower from home, which Lieutenant Gallagher asked him to do, and he used it to clear snow, Gallagher did, from the crime scene.
This thing was a mess. I can't believe this is even real. The red Solo cups using to collect not just some glass shards, but blood evidence.
And Good gave key testimony in that first trial. He said he did not hear Reed say, "I hit him at the scene." And he testified that he found 0 pieces of taillight that morning. But a taillight photo later appeared in his report documentation, and he was questioned about that on the stand by the defense in that first trial.
All right, we'll be watching the story closely. As always, Sue, thank you.
You're welcome.
And shout out to Sue. We've also got some breaking news from the awesome, the amazing Amy. Y'all check this out. So not only do we have the situation going down with Sean Good, but Amy just broke the news that the town of Canton has made a statement, and we're going to read it here. If you don't follow Amy on X, you need to follow her for breaking and up-to-date news on a lot of the stuff we covered here and many, many more things. You can follow her at IAMYLEIGH on X. That's Amy Lee on X. Here she goes. What does she say? A statement from the town of Canton. The town began an administrative investigation with an independent investigator. Sergeant Sean Good was immediately placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the internal affairs investigation. The town of Canton and interim Canton Police Chief Joseph Perkins said in a statement, and we're going to read that here shortly, the town of Canton and the Canton Police Department take this matter very seriously. About time. As this is an active and ongoing administrative investigation, no additional information is available for release at this time. The statement of the town of Canton and interim Canton Police Chief Joseph Perkins. The following statement from the town of Canton and interim Canton Police Chief Joseph Perkins. On Friday, October 24th, the town of Canton was notified of allegations of misconduct concerning a member of the town's police department, which was discovered during the investigation into a former member of a different law enforcement agency, i.e. Michael Proctor. Somebody sent them an email, said, do you want to do this? You want to take care of this before it gets out? Because if you don't, I can give you an idea of what's about to happen. It has to be Michael Proctor. This is not even a question. Immediately after becoming aware of the allegations, the town engaged an independent investigator to conduct a thorough administrative investigation into the allegations of misconduct. Sergeant Sean Good was immediately placed on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of the internal affairs investigation. The town of Canton and the Canton Police Department take this matter very seriously. As this is an active and ongoing administrative investigation, no additional information is available for release at this time. Now, let's go to CBS News over there in Boston as well. They're going to give us some more insight into what possibly went on during this investigation and what could be traced back to Michael Proctor. Why is Sean Good on administrative leave in the first place? He finna get fired. Let's be real. Canton police officers alleged misconduct stems from Michael Proctor's investigation, I-Team sources say. Here we go. The Canton Police Department confirmed that Sergeant Sean Good, a veteran officer who was working the night of John O'Keefe's death and testified during the first Karen Reed trial, has been placed on administrative leave while the department investigates allegations of misconduct. The I-Team sources say the allegations of misconduct involve Sergeant Good stemmed from an investigation into former Massachusetts State Police officer or state trooper Michael Proctor. The I-Team learning the state police are also investigating Proctor's text messages for possible misconduct involving troopers who were on the text message chain. Hey, Yuri Buchanan, my brother, are we still going to uphold and stand on Michael Proctor conducting his investigations with integrity? That's what you said, sir. That's what you doubled down on. We're going back 13 years. We're talking these text messages, these emails, these audio files, these pictures. And you were adamant that Michael Proctor conducted himself with integrity. Are you ready to retract that statement? Is he going to be next? Proctor's text message investigation. So Proctor, the lead investigator in the Karen Reed trial, came under fire when it was revealed he sent inappropriate and vulgar text messages about Reed to friends and coworkers. The state police fired Proctor in March. Last month, he dropped his appeal to win back his job after an in-depth analysis of the cell phone uncovered racist and graphic text messages that included photos of intimate body parts and the name of a SA'd victim. After those messages came to light, the state police union severed all ties with Proctor and withdrew their support for his appeal. The I-Team did reach out to the state police for comment, and of course they're like, we might have to fire some more people, so y'all give us some time. Canton police officer on leave. In a statement released by the town of Canton, we just talked about it, an interim Canton police chief Joseph Perkins, town officials said that they were notified on last Friday, about the alleged misconduct by Good. The town said the alleged misconduct was discovered during an investigation into the former member of a different law enforcement agency, which we can assume was Michael Proctor, and I think rightfully so. After learning of the allegations, the town asked an independent investigator to look into the matter, and we just read all of that. It is not known if Good's leave is any connection to Reed's case. Reed was arrested in 2022 and charged with the death of John O'Keefe, who was found dead in the snow outside of a Canton home. Reed and John O'Keefe were dating at the time, and police accused her of hitting him with her SUV after a night of heavy drinking. Reed stood trial last year, as we covered, but a hung jury led to a mistrial. A year later, we covered that as well, acquitted her of the most serious charges. Reed was found guilty only of operating under the influence and was sentenced to a year on probation. Who is Sean Good? This is a great question. Sean Good has been a member of the Canton Police Department for over 18 years, which means there's a long track record, most likely, of his communication between him and Michael Proctor. Good was working the night John O'Keefe's death and testified during Reed's first trial. He was on the witness list for the second trial, but was not called to the stand. While Good was on the witness stand, prosecutors played a 911 call from the morning of John O'Keefe's death. And we're actually going to do a little bit of a rewind and get into Sean Good's testimony. I know some of you haven't seen it, as we didn't watch the full Karen Reed trial from the first time. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments in the chat. Karen Reed trial, the gift that keeps on giving. It's sad. It's so sad. Not only that it took all of this to happen, for everything that's been going on behind the scenes to come to light. John O'Keefe lost his life. If Karen Reed wasn't put on the big stage, if Turtle Boy hadn't done the work that he had done in promoting this and somehow and in some ways breaking a lot of the news that was going on with Karen Reed, these guys might still be in their positions. And think of the ones that are acting and moving like this, that are in these positions already. Absolutely, absolutely sad to see this happening. Hopefully more justice will come about because of this. I want to know what y'all think in the comments in the chat. Woo, it's getting crazy, y'all. It is getting crazy. Shout out to the gang in here. Sloppy work on top of sloppy work. We've got 8,000 of you in the building, and most of you have liked the video. Thank y'all so much, and I appreciate the love. Kat Not Williams is in here as well. Shout out to Kat. She said, I told everyone you were going live at some point and didn't realize you were already live. It's all good, Kat. We be up in here. Thank you for stopping by. My awesome, amazing Amy just gifted 5 memberships. If you got a membership from Amy, please make sure that you say thank you. You get an opportunity to get your name highlighted in that beautiful green. You get a chance to check out the members only content, and you get instant access to all the videos that we drop here on the channel. So you don't have to miss out on anything. You don't have to wait until the videos are published like everybody else. So shout out to the new members. Make sure y'all send some love to Amy. Alice is in here. Good to see you, Alice. Also, make sure if you haven't yet, go subscribe to Amy's channel. She's an amazing content creator. She has some dope content over there. We were just watching a premiere on her channel earlier today. So if you missed that, you're definitely missing out on some great entertaining content. So make sure you go do that. Subscribe, hit the notification bell over there so you don't miss a video, and like every single video too, and show her some love. And also shout out to Kat Not Williams as well. Y'all make sure you go over there and support Kat and show her some love too. Y'all said sloppy work. And you said scroll up. We can't read with you. Oh yeah. Hopefully y'all can see. Hopefully y'all were able to see now. And thank you, Kat, for the shout out and letting everybody know we were going live over here. I think Kat was live this morning too. So y'all make sure if you didn't catch that live from Kat Not Williams, go back and rewatch it too. I'll be over there on the replay, gang. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, I made it there, about to clean up the house and the police department. Yes. He's going to get charged too. Ooh. Y'all think they're going to have charges against this man? Shout out to Mary in here with the 5 bomb. Thank you for the super chat, Mary. What does she say? She says, good morning. Waiting for my flight in Texas. Glad to be listening. I love the content. Love the family. Thank you so much, Mary, for the support. And I hope you have safe travels out there. Mary be out there getting it, man. Shout out to Mary. And hopefully everything's going well for you. We've got Justice for the People. Oh, man, these guys have messed up and ruined so much. And we talked about Miles King yesterday. A lot of people are saying Miles King is guilty. What? They're like, man, this dude, Miles King, went out there and shot this dude, and his girlfriend or his baby mama or whoever he was with was in on it. He's guilty. We've seen the evidence. Lock him up. But Michael Proctor's misconduct could factor in to how the investigation went against Miles King. If there's some prejudice shown, maybe there's going to be something that happens in the Miles King situation. I don't know all the details, so I'm not going to get too much into Miles King, but whew, absolutely crazy. Kat Not Williams says, unfortunately, guilty or not, doesn't the process can be abused. And think about this for a minute. Oh, same thing with Brian Walsh. That's true. What if something happens, and let's not use Miles King or Brian Walsh. What if something happens and there's a situation where someone clearly committed a certain crime, a heinous crime? Michael Proctor was involved. There was misconduct involved. and that person gets to go free because of that. Again, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know from a legal standpoint what all would factor in. But can you just imagine if that would happen? This absolutely insane. Because if we don't protect the process for people we don't like, the process won't protect the people we do like either. Exactly. Just do your job, man. It should not be that difficult. It shouldn't be that difficult. And actually, I had a couple other topics we wanted to get to. I want to play some of this cross-examination from Sean Good. Did y'all want to see this? I think you guys want to check this out because many of us, we didn't watch the Karen Reed, the first trial. So if you didn't get a chance to hear from Sergeant Good, we're going to watch maybe 10, 15 minutes of his testimony to see what he was talking about up on the stand. Kat says that tiny little witness booth. They had him in jail over there, innocent until proven guilty. Yes, especially when the process to prove that is tainted, unfair, violating civil rights. You got to throw it all away. You have to purify the system. I'm with y'all 100%. But now that we know Sean Good, well, he's probably not going to be going back to the Canton Police Department and maybe not to any police department. This is going to be rough for him. But let's go back and do a little bit of a rewind. And in case you missed some of his testimony, we're not going to play a full direct testimony. We'll just go into cross-examination, see what he had to say about the night that Karen Reed found John O'Keefe in the snow, Brian Higgins, and more. Check this out.
Now, Sergeant Good, who is Brian Higgins?
He is a ATF agent that has a satellite office out of the Canton Police Department.
And when did you come to meet him?
I have no idea when he started. It's been years.
This is my first time seeing his testimony.
I don't think so, but maybe.
Between 5 and 10 years?
Sure.
And how often would you see him at the Canton Police Station?
I worked midnights, so during that time, but I mean, 3 times a week I would see him. I mean, we don't have the same work schedule. I don't know when he works. He doesn't know when I do.
Okay. And when you say you work midnights, that means you come in at midnight?
Yes.
At 8 a.m.?
Correct.
Shout out to
And
David.
he works in the same building as you in terms of the fact that he has an office there, correct?
Yes.
Are there any other ATF agents that have offices at the Canton?
There could be. They don't check in with us.
Do you know of any ATF agents that have offices at the Canton Police Department?
Not that I know of, no.
What about officers from other local departments, surrounding towns? Do they have any offices at the Canton Police Department?
No.
They were the
And
first
you're not
ones to do
sure
it.
exactly how long he's had that office for, but it's been years.
Correct.
He has his own key card to enter the building?
Yes.
And you say you've seen him 2 or 3 times a
Interesting.
week in the time that he's had an office there?
Sure.
You're aware that Brian Higgins is a close friend of the former Canton Police Chief, Kenneth Berkowitz?
Sure.
You know that Chief Berkowitz was the reason that he was allowed to maintain an office at the Canton Police Department?
I didn't know that.
Well, his close friend, Chief Berkowitz, was your boss on January 29th of 2022, correct?
His close friend?
Yeah, Brian Higgins' close friend, Chief Berkowitz, was your boss on January 29th of 2022.
Okay.
And does okay mean yes?
Yes.
And you worked the midnight shift that day as well?
No.
What was your shift?
I took it off.
Were you assigned to dispatch? that
Not
day?
Brian Higgins.
The night of the incident?
Yes.
No, I stayed inside. I was inside.
Inside where?
The dispatch. I handle all the calls, send the guys
All
everywhere.
right, that was my question. I'm sorry if I'm
Okay.
I'm not being clear, but you were on duty, correct?
Yes.
What was your shift?
My shift was I stayed inside.
I'm sorry, what was the timing of your shift?
12 to 8.
Thank you. And when you say you stayed inside, that meant you were handling
Oh,
dispatch, correct?
correct.
And when you're handling dispatch, you're not expected to leave the station and physically respond to calls that come in, correct?
It depends on the call. Anything within reason that a supervisor should go, I'm leaving the station.
Okay, but
Normal car accidents, stuff like that patrol can handle, no.
okay, so unless it's something unusual, you're going to stay at dispatch, correct?
Correct.
And just after 1:30 a.m., while you were working dispatch, that's when you saw Brian Higgins enter the Canton Police Station at 1:30 in the morning, correct?
Correct.
Come into the dispatch area.
I said that earlier. I don't remember him coming in, or just did I see
Of
him on the
course not.
cameras walking down the hallway. We have numerous, I think we have 7 or 8 monitors in front of me that I'm able to watch people around our building.
So it could be that you just saw him on a screen, or it could be that he was in your room.
Correct.
But you don't remember which, correct?
Correct.
And before he showed up there at 1:30, you hadn't called him to ask him.
I wonder why they didn't call him the second time.
You hadn't asked him for any help with any investigation at 1:30, correct?
No.
When you first saw him there at 1:30, did you have any idea why he was showing up there?
No.
And when you first saw him, do you remember what entrance he used to come into the Canton Police Station?
I don't. It was from the back parking lot. I don't know if he was on the left back rear or right back rear.
And you would agree with me that 1:30 in the morning was hours before John O'Keefe was found unresponsive on Brian Albert's front lawn, correct?
Yes.
You had no information at 1:30 in the morning that John O'Keefe was out on Brian Albert's front lawn at that time, correct?
Correct.
And when Brian Higgins entered the department, that was the first time you had seen him on either the 28th or the 29th, correct?
Correct.
And this is again at 1:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
you have to say yes or no.
Yes.
Thank you. You didn't know where he was coming from?
Come on, Sean. You
No.
know how to do
You
this.
didn't know what he had done that night?
Absolutely not.
You didn't know who he had been with that night?
No.
This was a Friday night into early Saturday morning with a major blizzard forecast.
Crazy.
Correct.
It already started snowing.
Yes.
It was supposed to get worse.
Yes.
Was it unusual to see Brian Higgins come into the station at 1:30 a.m. on a weekend?
No.
And you don't recall how close you got to him.
No.
Are you able to tell this jury anything about his demeanor?
No. He just walked in. It's not unusual. We wouldn't have made pleasantries or say hello to each other. It's not uncommon.
And you don't recall whether or not you
Really?
got close enough to him to smell his breath or to smell what he smelled like, correct?
No.
At any
That's a
point,
wild
did he
question.
tell you why he was there?
No.
How long did he remain at the station for?
No idea. I only saw him come in. Never saw him leave or anything like that.
Did you ever see him do any paperwork at the station?
That night?
Yes.
No.
Did you ever see him do any administrative work at the station?
I can't leave the dispatch room. His office is out on the second floor.
So let's skip ahead a few hours later. You're still working dispatch when a call came in that a man was found unresponsive on Brian Albert's front lawn, correct?
Yes.
It's just after 6 a.m.?
Yes.
You yourself took that call?
Dang.
I did.
Crazy.
And with regard to who is responsible for entering the information that came in on a call to dispatch, who is that?
The person that's working the desk.
So at 6 a.m.,
Officer Dever.
you were responsible for taking down the information and entering it into your system, correct?
It's being recorded through the 911 dispatch, correct. But I didn't enter it into our IMC program, which is our daily log.
Okay, who enters that into your daily log?
That'd be the person that's working the desk.
And you had previously testified that location is important, correct?
Correct.
You would discuss the fact that if a call comes in on a cell phone as opposed to a landline, you want to know where that cell phone is, correct?
Yes.
And you have ways of pinging the cell phone such that you can actually see the location on a map, correct?
Sure. Yes.
And you would agree with me that ultimately when the location was entered into your system, the location was entered as 32 Fairview, correct?
No, it was 34. At least we put it out as 34.
34 was the actual address, but 32 is what made it into the police report, sir, did it not?
No, my police report says 34 Fairview.
Now, when that call came in after 6 a.m., you decided that you would personally go out, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I actually have the front page of your police report. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Uh-oh. What was going on with the police report?
Show Mr. Lally.
Thank you.
I'd ask you to read that silently to yourself, take a good look at it, and look up at me when you're done. And you've had enough time to
Lie on
review
this
it?
report?
Yes.
Getting back to the location, which you said was important, what is the location listed in your very police report?
On the face sheet, it says 32, but in my narrative, it's 34.
Okay. The face sheet is important, is it not?
Yes.
People see the face sheet before they get to the narrative, correct?
Sure.
Is accuracy important?
Yes.
Here we
And the
go.
very first thing that's entered with regard to the location is inaccurate, right?
Say it again.
The very first entry with regard to the location on your police report on the face sheet is inaccurate. Would you agree with that?
I guess so, yes.
And with regard to the name down the bottom of that report, I left the report in front of you so you could look at it again. Would you read that silently to yourself and look up at me?
Okay.
Does that refresh your memory as to what name is listed?
Yes.
What name is that?
John O'Keefe.
No. If I can have that back for a minute. Now,
Come on, Sean.
you decided that you wanted to go to the call, or you decided it would be a good thing for you to go to the call personally, correct?
Yes.
So you called Officer Kelly Beaver into dispatch,
I did.
and you did that because you wanted her to cover the desk for you so that you could personally respond to the call, correct?
Correct.
Responding to the call wasn't your duty assignment, but you made it your duty assignment, correct?
Correct.
And if you were going to leave, somebody had to cover.
Correct.
After that, you personally called two of your other colleagues who were not on duty that night to respond with you to Brian Albert's house, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you previously testified, I believe, that Sergeant Michael Lank was one of those officers, and he arrived at 6:25 a.m., correct?
Correct.
And then Lieutenant Paul Gallagher was the other officer, and he arrived closer to 7 a.m., correct?
Yes.
I remember Gallagher was the one who not only didn't go across the street and check the Ring camera or whatever camera that they had to see what happened that morning, but he also collected evidence and read solo cups, gave multiple pieces of evidence to Michael Proctor, who then drove around in his truck with it for weeks at a time. So yes, that's the Gallagher we're talking about. Maybe Gallagher will be next.
Lieutenant Paul Gallagher was the other officer, and he arrived closer to 7 a.m., correct?
Yes.
He said, hey, bring your...
When you responded to 34 Fairview on January 29th, did you know that residence?
Yes.
And what did you know that residence to be?
I knew that to be Brian Albert's house.
You and Sergeant Lank had both been to that residence before, correct?
No.
Together.
Actually, we have. We were there for a police report years ago.
Okay. And so when you decided to respond to the scene on January 29th, that residence of 34 Fairview, you knew exactly where you were going.
Yes.
And when you got there, you knew you were outside the home of Boston Officer Brian Albert, correct?
Yes.
And this was a memorable event. Would you agree with me?
Yes.
Before January 29th of 2022, you had never responded to a call where the body of one police officer was found on the front lawn of another police officer's house, correct?
Yes.
And at some point after you arrived, you saw both Sergeant Lank and Detective Gallagher arrive, correct?
Yes.
It was Sergeant Lank who first entered the home and made initial contact with Brian Albert and his family?
No, I was right next to him.
So is it your testimony that the first time the police went in the house, you were there with Sergeant Lank?
Yes.
All right. And when you went in, can I have Exhibit 8 on the screen, please?
Oh man, they're bringing up the receipts too. Ooh,
Terrific. You're able to see Exhibit 8?
Yes.
Is that a fair depiction of what the house looked like when you entered it?
Yes.
Do you see the front door?
Yes.
Is that the door that you entered?
Yes.
And you had testified that you looked around the immediate area where you were while Sergeant Lank was asking questions. You noticed that when you entered that front door, you come into a foyer area, and directly in front of you on the left, you can almost reach out and touch. There's a door that goes down to the cellar, is there not?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember a door there. I remember the stairs going up to the second floor.
I see. So you don't remember that as you step into the house, you can go down a cellar door right away?
Objection.
No, I don't know where his cellar is.
The objection sustained.
You don't know
What
where
was
the
the
cellar
objection?
is, and that's in part because you did not go down to the cellar, correct?
Correct.
You never examined it?
No.
You never saw what condition it was in?
No.
Saw whether there was any signs of struggle down there?
No.
Never saw if anything was tipped over?
No.
You never saw whether there was any blood or other trace evidence down there?
Objection, Your Honor.
The objection sustained. You've made your point.
wow.
Can we turn the lights back on, please? Do you need this, Ms. Giannetti?
I do not.
Okay.
Man, hey, it's tough to hear Bev in this first trial. Listen, I didn't watch the first trial, and I did that intentionally. And I could see, looking at a lot of these highlights, how y'all were right about Judge Bev being biased, because she had a completely different tune in the second trial, although you could see some of the attitude there. It's interesting to see. What do y'all think about Sean Good? Now that this man has been let go when it comes to misconduct, Do you think it has something to do with this testimony here? Does it have something to do with Michael Proctor? I want to know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat. Ooh, y'all said Lang will be next. Yuri Buchanan, Lieutenant Gallagher. There's so many of them that could be next. Who knows? Who knows? This is insane. Insane. Shout out to all 17,000 of y'all that are in the building. Where's Chloe, man? Where's Chloe at? Man, I don't miss her. I can't stand her. She's sustained everything. You made your point. Excuse me. Is it asked and answered? If not, what's the objection? What is the objection here? And she didn't allow speaking objections either way. The ring camera was claimed to show the whole accident. Man, how do you not? Well, I know how. I don't need to ask that question because y'all, I think we all know the answer to that one. Chloe's a good girl. She didn't do it. Where is it that he got fired? I saw he was suspended with pay. I mean, okay. If someone's on leave for misconduct and there's an investigation going on, again, was he fired? Not technically. Not technically fired. Is this most likely going to end the way we think it's going to end and the way it ended with a lot of these other guys? Most likely. Because the reason this is happening because a lot of news and information came out once we found there were text messages, and once the Canton Police Office got a hold of the text messages in relation to Michael Proctor, some of the investigations that went on, and they either heard from somebody or they found out through their own investigation that there was misconduct, quote unquote, going on. And now Sean Good is taking the back seat. I think the only reason he's suspended with pay is because the reason he was suspended hasn't been made public. Because we don't have a trial where this man sitting up there like Michael Proctor and rereading the text message and say, hey, Sean, you said in this text message it's pinning on the girl. You said Karen Reed is such and such. You said this. You said that. That's the only reason this dude is getting paid. Yes, and thank y'all for having my back. I did put it appropriately. I did put a question mark, and I left it up to y'all's interpretation. So fired with the question mark, yes, it is not a statement. I try not to be misleading, but I do find loopholes. Gallagher made $35,000 in 2023. Excuse me. $350,000 in 2023. Thank you for the 2 bomb back to the 80s. My goodness. Oh, man. And I mean, for someone who's living out in Canton, if you look at the median house price, that's not a crazy amount, but it's a significant amount. It's a significant amount. Kelly Dever replaced Sean that morning. He's going to get fired, in my opinion. Yeah, the only reason he's getting paid right now is because the reason he was placed on leave is unbeknownst to us. It's way different from Proctor. It's way different from Kelly Dever. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. What else are y'all saying in here? It was intentional. The acting chief has made a lot of progress. Yep. Shout out to the new chief in there. Higgins went into the room. Good was in. The smell booze, but he had Dever come in so he could go. But she doesn't remember what happened. She had a false memory, right? Yeah, both my parents are cops and they ain't making that ish. They need to get out to Canton. They need some help out there. They're losing these guys left and right. Even if they want to be a state trooper. Because I'm sure Yuri Buchanan's going to be getting some phone calls soon too. With him being a supervisor as well, man, the police union protecting him, probably. I think the 2 of them knew something happened in the Sallyport. Teachers, firefighters, and cops pay more in taxes than a lot of people. Proctor is the gift that keeps on giving. And we're not even close. This is just not even the tip of the iceberg. Not even the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be so much more that comes out about this. And now hearing that they're doing internal affairs investigation because of what's going on. It's just going to get crazier and crazier. Shout out to my awesome, amazing Amy in here, dropping the cake, reminding me she got it all. She got all that cake over there. Thank you, Amy. I would love some cake right now. Absolutely. I was trying to get some before the show, but you know, sometimes you got to wait for the cake, you know, it's all right. Thank you for the love, Amy. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything you do. I appreciate it. And reminding me that it is almost time to get something to eat. I got you. I do not believe Chloe was involved. Those are definitely not right now. There is no bite marks, just scratches and dog bites. They don't scratch. They do scratch, but those are not from Chloe. It's possible. Pie is better than cake. Hey, yo. I don't know why I read that comment out loud. Good afternoon, greetings from northern Michigan, where it's probably like -2 degrees right now. Sending love to y'all and good vibe. Got here, so I'm on rewind. Hope y'all are doing good today. Shout out to you. Thank you for stopping by, Green Eyes. Shout out to Amy. Y'all said Buchanan, Tully, Gallagher retired, need to go. There's a lot going on there. We're gonna find out what happened eventually, but whew, it's getting absolutely crazy. Okay, we'll read a couple more comments and then we'll get into our next topic. Shout out to Back to the 80s with the 10 bomb. Says Good's first report on Karen Reed's show, no taillight. Second report in 2023, after they were feeling the heat, Good added pictures of the taillight. Yannetti questioned him on it on Cross. Must see. And we watched a little bit of it here. I'll leave a link to this video so y'all can find it, because I know there were so many days of this Karen Reed trial. It's hard to go back and find the exact day when something went down. I'll leave a link to this in the description for y'all. And I'll also drop it in the chat right now if you want to go back and watch the full cross-examination of this, because oh man, it's getting wild out here. Let me get our next topic in here. Let me see if I can find it. Amy said, I prefer cake. Yeah, over pie. Shout out to the cake. Shout out to the cake gang up in here. Amy knows what I'm talking about. All right, let's get this updated and then we'll get into our next topic, because we got to talk about Candace Owens and what's been going on with Charlie Kirk. You want to talk about, I hate to call this a gift that keeps on giving, because anytime someone passes, John O'Keefe, Charlie Kirk, it's sad to see a lot of the fallout that happens as a result of this. But with that being said, we're still talking about what went on with the Charlie Kirk situation and the assassination. And Candace Owens has some more information that may be tied to the Charlie Kirk assassination. Very sad to see what's happening here. And a lot of things are adding up. We've been talking about it here. We talked about the recent alleged disappearance of Tyler Robinson's girlfriend. And we talked about that. Candace Owens called that. We talked about Candace Owens taking shots at the president. Probably not a great way to phrase that, but Candace Owens pointing the finger at the president saying, were you involved in some way? Because the way things are moving are kind of weird. Kash Patel. More information about that. And then we saw receipts from people who were close to Charlie Kirk and the conversations they were having about his stance in pro-Israel. So now Candace Owens is just stacking everything up. She is putting the pieces together, and we have some more information here about a flight that left shortly around the time that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Let's go ahead and get into it, see what she has to say.
All right, so while I was away in Wyoming, I received a rather shocking tip. There were, as I am sure you are aware, some inexplicable flights that were happening that day. And actually, they're not even inexplicable. They could very easily be explained. It's just that the feds are kind of declining to do so. And we don't really have much information about those flights. In particular, there was one flight that had I would say, describe it as an interesting morning. It was contracted by our military. For whatever reason, this plane departed from the Biggs Army Airfield at 6:13 a.m. That's down in El Paso, Texas, right? And despite the fact that they were heading to Montana, they decided to make an unusual dip at 9:16 a.m. Again, this is in Utah time, okay? We're doing all this in mountain time. They dipped down to just 300 feet above ground over the Provo Airport runway, and they made a loop. I'm going to show you a screenshot here this is from Flight Radar. So you can see that loop. And again, this is a military plane, a military contracted plane. And we know it's military because it's leaving from a military base, okay? Really interesting thing happening there. Mark, if you want to jump on right now just to describe this for all the women that are listening to this podcast, what we're seeing here with that chart on the bottom.
Happy to provide some mansplaining. So at the bottom, you can see the altitude and the airspeed of the plane.
This is right here.
You see it take off, goes to level flight, and then you see it dip down in the middle there, and that's what we're looking at. The time on there says 3:16 p.m., but that's UTC. That's just the general time for airplanes. So you go back -6 hours to give you Utah time. So that gives us 9:16 a.m. And then it goes back up and then continues to Montana.
Okay, so it continued on to Kalispell, Montana, and then it lands for just under an hour before it again departs back for Texas. Once again, on its return trip, it dips again to just over 300 feet over the Provo Airport runway. Now, we're going to show you that again. That this is from Flight Radar, that dip, I should tell you, because there has been a lot of speculation about it online. That took place approximately 26 minutes after Charlie was assassinated. So that dip took place 26 minutes after. And then the plane went back home, or back to the home base in El Paso. Now, it's possible, just to be fair here, that the plane was running a military training exercise that morning. Maybe they were training a new pilot on how to make a fake landing or something. I really don't know. But this flight path did indeed happen. We can confirm that. And it has been accurately reported that the plane is owned by a certain LaSalle, LaSai LLC, regarding which there haven't been any more details provided because this has not exactly been the most transparent administration as they claimed they were going to be. The second mysterious flight, which was well reported on at the time, I would say this was the most reported upon flight, again, by the public, and which eventually created so much pressure that it warranted a response from one of the owners of the plane, who was Derek Maxfield. He's married to Shalane Maxfield. The two of them, they're a billionaire couple from Utah. They run a human sex trafficking charity. There's a lot of human sex trafficking charities in Utah.
Jeez,
and
Candace.
I should let you guys know that they are not the only owners of that plane, by the way. Someone who didn't hit Internet Radar, who also co-owns that plane with them, is a person named Casey Baugh.
And now, this is where Candace starts to lose me sometimes, getting into the allegations that are somewhat unfounded. So we're going to get into the plane and how it's tied into everything that happened with Charlie Kirk shortly, but y'all just bear with her.
Baugh. Now, I'm mentioning Casey Baugh because I found it when I was researching interesting that Casey Baugh had his name on an institute at UVU, the Baugh Entrepreneurship Institute, which operates out of the Woodbury Business Building. Okay, I was like, whoa. When we didn't know any details, I was thinking like, hey, did this person let somebody onto the rooftop? But of course, now we know that Tyler Robinson was not on the Woodbury building or on campus at all, for that matter. So Casey Baugh is not a suspect for having provided him access in any way. But I will say that the Baugh-Maxfield plane, I'm going to take you through what that was doing. It caught a ton of attention because the plane departed from Provo, Utah at 1:20 p.m. local time. In theory, then, of course, yes, a person could have shot Charlie Kirk, went straight to the airport, and then took off on a private plane. And why this got even more attention was because they seemingly turned their transponder off. That alarmed the public. Why is this plane terminating their transponder? Why can't we see more data happening on this plane, right? Being collected from this plane. So obviously, this couple, Derek and Shalane Maxfield, were feeling the heat, and they issued a statement the following day, sometime in the afternoon, about 3 o'clock on September 11th. And they said that contrary to a lot of the online conspiracies that were taking shape, the plane was actually empty when it departed Provo en route to Arizona, where he and some of his friends were picked up and they returned home to Provo. Okay. Some people thought, did they pick up like Turning Point USA people and return back? We don't know at all, actually, who was on that flight manifest. In theory, it's not really our business, but of course, given this high-profile assassination, it feels like everything should be our business. Anyways, here's what he said specifically. I'm going to read his statement in its entirety for good measure. He wrote, Shalane and I join our community, our state, and our nation in mourning the death of Charlie Kirk, and we pray for his family and loved ones during this difficult and tragic time. His death and the way that it occurred was both horrifying and senseless. We pray that the extensive efforts by law enforcement to locate Mr. Kirk's killer will be swift and successful. Spoiler alert, no, it has not been. As often happens, unfortunately, in the wake of such terrifying and public events, a variety of baseless theories and suspicions around Mr. Kirk's murder immediately took hold on social media, including one that has unfairly impacted our family. To set the record straight, we provide the following facts. Yesterday at 1:20 p.m. Mountain Time, a private aircraft owned by one of our companies with the tail number N888KG departed the Provo Airport for Page, Arizona. Pursuant to a pre-scheduled flight plan, occupants at takeoff included 2 pilots and no passengers. That tail number arrived at Page, Arizona Airport at approximately 1:55 p.m. Mountain Time. At 12:55 p.m. local time, upon arrival, Derek Maxfield, boarded that plane along with 7 additional passengers for the return trip to Provo. We departed that PGA airport in Arizona at approximately 1:40 and arrived at PVU at approximately 3:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Radar services with air traffic control were terminated in mutual agreement between Denver FAA Center and N888KG, approximately 10 miles from landing at PGA, which is consistent with generally accepted standard practice when flying in and out of non-towered airports like PGA. N888KG pilots followed all FAA requirements and protocols, tower directions, and the predetermined flight plan. This round trip was made at my request and solely for my purposes. Any suggestion that the flights by N888KG yesterday are in any way connected to the tragic shooting of Mr. Kirk is inaccurate, false, and without any credible basis of any kind. To our knowledge, no one associated with yesterday's flight by N888KG has been contacted by law enforcement for any reason. And then they just say, we ask that you just focus on bringing the people, bring Charlie Kirk to justice, the murder of Charlie Kirk, finding some justice in that. Okay, so a couple of interesting things. He admits that something like the services were terminated, but in compliance with law, so they didn't break the law when they did that at all. And what I can tell you is that I had a flurry of pilots that were working on getting details on that flight manifest, confirming its landing, etc. And things got a little bit weird. They were saying that it was unusual, that stuff that was pretty standard protocol, the feds seemed to be guarding. Very strange. Now, I'm not saying this to implicate Derek Maxfield or Shailene Maxfield at all. In fact, that's why I wanted to read their statement in their entirety. But I am telling you that the feds were guarding this just like they were guarding the Dairy Queen. It was weird. Even airport personnel had been instructed to lie, actually. The situation was therefore not routine. And if you haven't caught on, I'm not really here for all of these extraordinary anomalies that just keep happening, right? Information is power. We want the information so we can dispel the rumor. I don't see any reason, by the way, Derek and Shailene, if you want to reach out to me and tell me personally who was on the manifest, and I can just say, I actually haven't offered you that until this moment. I would be.
Or, I mean, at least say what they were traveling for. Give the manifest, say, what were you guys doing? I mean, was it a business meeting? Was there something going on? What did everyone have planned for that day? Something.
Be glad to dispel all the rumors and innuendo.
No
if the feds are telling the airport to lie for some reason, there was one person who said they were supposed to land at Millionaire FBO, but then suddenly they shifted to another FBO and things were weird. I would be happy to clear up everything for you in a way that makes sense, and it could genuinely be because the government is so inefficient. Major point that I want to make here is that the biggest anomaly that has happened is this kind of foreign angle. Like right away, they just got out in front of it and were like, there's nothing to see here. And we discovered, and I broke the story, that there was actually a third plane, which I found to be quite odd. I reported on it, and the Zionists immediately seemed, to me, too panicked, right? They issued what I describe as a false debunking regarding the point that I was making. What they do in circumstances like that is when you say something that's really big, they focus on something really small and inconsequential, like an error that you made, and I did make in terms of time zones. And they go, oh, well, this has been debunked, right? Started going after people for defamation, not people that wasn't attacking them for the substance of the claim that you were born male, because she was, but rather she goes after them like she's going after me for saying, oh, well, actually, you're saying that I stole my sister's ID and that's a crime, so I'm going to sue you for that. And then the media runs with it and says, oh, this has been debunked. Nothing is being debunked. And when they do that, when they focus on that, you know they're hiding something, okay? When they focus.
Yep, Candace is right. And again, this is interesting. I don't believe in coincidences. And I'm not going to pause Candace like that. Don't believe in coincidences. And I think there is something there. If we get more information, and find out the plane was there. This flight did happen. And they made an unusual sequence of events when it comes to just the flight plan in general. Will we find out more information about this? I think so. Candace isn't backing down. I want to know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. Is it something? Is it nothing? Is it everything? We'll have to wait and see. Thank y'all for the love, man. We've got 16,000 of you in here, and most of you have liked the video. If you haven't liked the video yet, please make sure y'all do that. I would appreciate it. He said I have trouble tracking what she's talking about. Yeah, you have to. There is a lot of information that's being left out. You have to have been following this for a little while because Candace has kind of been walking everything down when it comes to the events leading up to Charlie Kirk's assassination, during the assassination, and after. So this is one event that took place before, during, and after Charlie Kirk's assassination. And she just wants to know, is there something there? Is there nothing there? Can you guys give us more information? Who was on the plane? Where were they? Where'd they go? It's that simple. So she's just trying to collect information about what went on in and during this Charlie Kirk assassination. Either way, we're going to get up out of here, y'all. I appreciate the love. Thank you to everybody who supported. Big shout out to everyone who liked the video. Make sure if y'all haven't yet subscribed, hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live tomorrow, because we'll be back here tomorrow morning. Also, if y'all haven't yet, make sure that you like the video on your way out. Appreciate everyone that's done that so far. Shout out to Les Cleaver, Mary, and then of course we've had, oh, where did it go? Shout out to Disco Dance 1980 in here, and my awesome, amazing Amy. I hope y'all have a great rest of your afternoon, great rest of your day. We're going to be dropping clips throughout the day, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. And as always, y'all know what to do. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We going out of here. Peace.